Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for October 11th, 2020. Oh my god, this week was long. I don't know about anybody else, but I thought work would never end. And then this weekend I had all these great plans because it's kind of rainy here in Oregon, and so it was nice, and I was going to read all day. Yeah, no, I was so distracted. I read a little. I did read, but I didn't read anywhere near as much as I planned. I watched a lot of BookTube anyway, and I also just, I don't know, I was in a really weird mood. Anyway, so we'll see how today goes on that. So anyway, but beyond that, work was just long. It was just like, I just thought it was never going to end, and it just seemed every day there was something went wrong. Well, except maybe Friday was probably the best day because it was kind of short anyway, compared to the other days. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about the books that I finished, the ones I'm in the middle of, and the ones that are what my plans will be for this coming week. So as you know, I am participating in Victober, and I'm really, really enjoying it. My only problem is I'm doing what I do very rarely, but I do it every once in a while, whereas I've started too many books, and I want to start more, and I can't do this. Like, I just mentally don't do well with reading multiple books at the same time. I have a lot of trouble with that. Not because I can't keep track or anything. And I know some people thrive on having multiple books running at the same time. They have huge TBRs or in the process of reading currently readings. And if I have more than 3, I'm in trouble. And 2 really is where I like to be. But right now I have like 5, and it's way too much. I need to cut back. So that's kind of my goal this week, just kind of as an overall. But Victober is going really well, and I'm really, as I said, I'm enjoying most of my reading, kinda. Well, we'll get to that. So the only thing I finished this week was my Dearest Dares Albert, Queen Victoria's life through her letters and journals. This compiled by Karen Dolby. And this isn't really what I thought it was, except that I still really enjoyed this. So this kind of goes through Queen Victoria's life through her letters and journals by picking out little parts of it, but telling then her story about what was going on around her life at that time, or her relationship with some of her children, which was very, very interesting. I did not know how some of her relationships were not all that great. It was kind of interesting to see, and why and stuff. It was really sad about, of course, when with Albert. I mean, it was really nice in the beginning when they got together, and then and it was sad later. So, but overall, I really enjoyed this. I did this for the prompt by Lucy the Reader, which was to read letters or journals. I do have some other things to read that I could do with letters and journals, but this is the one I picked up because I had it, and I probably paid a little too much for this little hardback, but it was really interesting, and I'm glad I read it, because this does make me want to pick up the biography that I picked up at a library book sale, the one that's by Julia Bard. And so I do want to get to that at some point, but I'm going to wait now because I've got enough of her for this month. And I will probably put out maybe next year sometime. I will get the audiobook for that and listen to that. But this was really interesting. I don't know a whole lot about Queen Victoria, so this was really eye-opening in some ways. Again, her relationships with her family and mostly her children was just, I was surprised. I didn't realize half of that stuff had gone on. Again, she had a really long reign, so a lot of things happened, and this just pulls out certain instances where we have evidence of letters and journals and her thoughts on those. So really, I think it was a really great little book. As I said, I probably paid too much for it, but I'm glad I got it, and I did enjoy that. So let's talk about the books I'm in the middle of. As I said, there's quite a few. So I'm reading Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. This is the group read for Victober, and I'm on track at this point. I'm right on track. So we're about a third of the way through now, because I've read up to 10 days. I kind of read maybe half of the next chapter, so I'm only a half chapter ahead for today, and so I need to finish it for that. But so this is hard. This book has been very hard for me. Okay, so Charlotte Bronte, I've only read Jane Eyre, and then I read one of her juvenalias, The Foundling. And I really enjoy Jane Eyre. It's one of those books I have read a couple of times. I would love to reread it, but right now, since I'm still trying to finish her stuff, I was trying to hold off, so that's why I didn't join that read along. I have enough other things going on. So, but Shirley is her second novel published, and to me it's so different from Jane Eyre. Just pretty much all around. So this book is much more of or at least, okay, for the first third that I've read so far, it is so character driven. It is such a character portrait of all these people who live in this Yorkshire area, and the curates and the rectors and the mill owners or the business owners, and then there's some young women who live in the area who are either related or, you know, they're also kind of involved. And you're kind of getting to know all these people in these chapters, but their plot is just not moving very fast. It's a very loose plot at this point. I mean, I just met Shirley. Shirley just popped up into this book, and it's taken, you know, a third of the way through to get to her. So I knew that going in, took a while for her to get there, but man, I didn't think it would be that far. But, so I don't know if now things will start speeding up or things will start happening more, but the beginning part to me is so character driven. It was hard for me to read this because you would have one chapter that you just got to know some family or some group of people, and then the next chapter would be somebody else that had nothing to do with the last one, or there maybe was a slight connection. And it's going in ways it was hard. So this is a slog for me. I'm not enjoying it that much. Like, it's not that it's bad, and it's not that I'm going to DNF this or anything. It's nothing like that. It really is. It's just, it takes me a long time to read a chapter. And these chapters are only 17 to 25 pages long. So every day is not a bad thing to read one chapter. It's just, it takes me a long time to read that chapter, and I feel like so drained afterwards sometimes. Again, the last couple chapters the last chapter, we're finally making some progress to me in the plot, but we'll see what happens. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on this one. We'll see what happens. As I said, like a lot of people, I would love to finish all the Brontes. I'm kind of about like halfway through. As I said, I still got quite a few. Charlotte Brontes, I still need to read Villette, the Professor, and Garce, and then finish this. So if I could do that, that would be great. I would like to get done with that. But so we'll see. As I said, I'm going to probably keep to the schedule for now on this, and then I'll probably reach a point where I just want to finish it out because I'm just done with the reading one chapter a day. But right now, that's the only way I'm getting through this. So I'm just going to continue plodding on, and we'll see what happens on that one. I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's it's slow going for. I don't know. We'll see. I am still listening to the audiobook of Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. It's narrated by Joanne Froggatt. So far, this is I would say my surprise of Victober. I am actually, I'm more invested in this than I ever have before. As I said, I'm now halfway through. I've never gotten this far in my read. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have tried this book 3 other times and DNF'd it over the years. So this is the 4th time, and I said my 4th and final time of trying to get through this. And now that I've gotten through like the part where I kept DNFing, it is like I see what people talk about on this. There is gorgeous writing in here. The story is interesting, even if I do not like the characters. So we'll see what happens. As I said, I'm halfway through, so a lot of things just happened, and it is my commute book, so I didn't listen to it this weekend at all, but I have 6 hours left. I'm hoping to finish it next week just to get it done so I can listen to some other stuff. I have some couple short audiobooks I found on Audible Plus that I would like to listen to, and then I don't know, I have a plan of maybe starting another book that I've DNF'd before and trying to listen to it on audio, but we'll see. Anyway, but right now, Wuthering Heights, as I said, people love this or hate this, and I've always been on the hate side because I couldn't get into it. I would say right now I'm kind of in the middle, like I kind of get it, so I'm kind of resting at a 3 right now. We'll see what happens. As I said, I'm not I'm glad I'm getting through it. So as I said, I really want to get through all the Bronte's books. And again, Wuthering Heights is a book that everybody talks about. And I didn't always get all the allusions to it because I've never read it all the way through. So, okay, I'm glad I'm finally getting to that and finally making myself. Let's hope I can finish it. So I got 6 hours. We can do it. And then yesterday I did pick up another book. See, I don't know. And this is Night Walks by Charles Dickens. This is one of the Penguin Great books. I've not picked up any of these, so I don't know. They're cute little books. Anyway, so I saw this probably on someone's channel last year. I've had it on my wish list for a year, and I finally bought it in September. So this showed up yesterday in the mail. So I decided to pick it up. So I read the first of the 8 essays. The first one is Night Walks. So it has Charles Dickens writing an essay about when he had insomnia and he walked around London at night, and it shows him going to different locations, and he's talking about what it's like to be houseless or homeless. And so it was really interesting because I have read Bleak House and a couple of other his books that do talk about certain themes in that he brought up in here. It was kind of interesting. So I do have 7 more of the essays. I don't know what they all are entailed about. But I'm probably going to try to just pick one up every once in a while. They're about 10 to 14 pages each one. So it's not like a long read. It's just, you know, as I said, I don't do very well with reading multiple books. But I might try to slip these in because then this would be my nonfiction right now. Because I'm not because I just finished that other one. So I would like to have some nonfiction on the go. So I'm probably going to read that. Is it essays? Like, yeah. So not something I normally pick up. I don't usually pick up essays, but it's Charles Dickens. And then the book that I'm focusing on mostly is Wagner the Werewolf by George, W.M. Reynolds. So this is my pick for read a book that is in your favorite modern genre, or comes from that, or is like, sorry, it is like your favorite modern genre. So this has paranormal elements, of course, because there's a werewolf, and it's historical fiction because it's 1521, and then it's mysterious, and so it has mystery in it, which is something I love in all my books. So, because there's mysteries involved here, and so we're following Wagner, and we're following him and his his journey that. Well, as I said, he gets in trouble pretty quickly. Anyway, so it's like a twisty turny. It's a penny dreadful. So they were really short chapters, and it's really easy to read. I mean, when I sit down and read it, it actually does fly. I wanted to read so much of this yesterday. My brain just would not concentrate. So I'm about a fourth of the way through this. I'm about 150 out of 600 pages. So I have quite a ways to go, but it's really twisty-turny, like right now, as in people are in jail for things that they didn't do, and then there's, again, he's a werewolf. There's also another woman who's kind of very mysterious who, yeah, might have just killed somebody. And then there's another woman who is kidnapped, and then there's another, there's a family that's kind of a royalty, this count, passed away, and he left this like hidden room that has something in it but his son is not allowed to go and open it, but not until he gets married or something weird. and then he also had this whole other life on the, and it's just twisted. Anyway, so it's just fun. I would not say this was great. Like, I would not say this is like fantastic. Like, I would not go as far to say this is sensational as in Wilkie Collins and stuff, but it is fun, and it's definitely paranormal, and it's definitely, as I said, twisty-turny, and it's short chapters, and it's just all these people are just, they're so dramatic. It is kind of like a sensation novel, except not. I don't know. It's not quite to that level, I don't think. But I really am enjoying that. So I am focusing on that this week, and I hope to finish that out. Another book that I have, but I have not read anything really this week, is The Romance of a Shop by Amy Levy. I still have this on ebook on my phone, and this week at work was just crazy, and I barely got my breaks, let alone took time to read. Like, I just pretty much didn't have time to do anything at work this week. So I'm hoping to get back to this again. I'm about a third of the way through the book, maybe a little bit over that. So I only read a little bit this week, not very much, not enough to say anything. And again, this follows 4 sisters whose father has passed away and left him in kind of dire straits, and so they decide to open up a shop. So they're kind of going through that transition of changing classes from being more privileged to a working class, and then the troubles that they have with that. And it's been interesting so far. Like I said, it was a really easy read, and I just need to get back to it. But again, it's on my it's an ebook, so I don't read those quite as often. So if I'm lucky and I'm able to finish off Wagner the Werewolf this week, which is my goal, that is the book I'm gonna, as I said, focus on. The other ones are so sad. I have so much on the go, but I do want to finish that one because I do need to read this library book. This is Light of Impossible Stars by Gareth L. Powell. This is book 3 in the Embers of War trilogy that I started in September for Space Opera September. So I want to finish off the series. I don't want it to go too long before I finish it off, because book 2 ended in a way I'm like, oh, what happened? What are they gonna do? Kind of thing. And it's really a fast. They all were fast reads. So I'm hoping to get this done next weekend, so that I can return it to the library the week after, because that's when it's due. So I will have a little break in my Victober reading, but I want to know what happens and finish this trilogy off and actually finish something this year, because most of the stuff I've started, I have not finished. I have like 2 or 3 series that I started this year that I haven't finished. So I want to finish at least one. So I'm probably going to try to read that at the end, or maybe next weekend. So we'll see. As I said, it depends on how Wagner goes. If I read that really fast and get it done, then I can get to that. Anyway, so I think that's everything. That's what I've read. And what I'm in the middle of. So much in the middle of. As I said, I'm not good at this whole having multiple books going. I don't know if anybody else, again, I know other people love doing that. And I really find I don't like it. I don't make enough progress if I read a little bit here and there. I feel like I'm not making any progress, even though I am making pages, but it just doesn't feel like it to me. And I guess I don't like that. Anyway, but let's just get through what I've already started and try to narrow it down and then try to get back under control, because I think I work much better on my reading when it's under control. Anyway, so what are you guys reading for Victober, or are you reading something else, doing one of the other spooky, I know there's like a million readathons going on, and again, I always, it's like, I want to read those, but I'm like, I'm focused on this, so I can only do so much at once. So let me know what you guys are reading, and I'm just curious, is anybody doing NaNoWriMo? So that's National Novel Writing Month. That takes place in November. I am starting to trying to decide how I'm going to do this. I've not been writing much this year, and this is my 15th year of doing Nano. So I really want to participate just because it's my 15th year, even though I haven't written much of anything since all of the pandemic started. So I've written so very little this year, probably the least I've written in a year in probably about 20 years. And it kind of hurts, but my brain has not been working in that way. But luckily in the last couple weeks, I've started to coming up with ideas. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for like my actual idea, but I'm at least coming up with a lot of prompt ideas that if it turns out I'm just going to be writing miscellaneous stuff, then I can do that. I might not be participating correctly, but I want to just write the 50,000 words. So if I can write it in whatever I can do, I will. So I'm just curious how many writers are out there and going to take part in that. I really do enjoy NaNoWriMo. It's a fun experience. This year, of course, will be different because nobody will be meeting in real life. We'll be all online. But I still am looking forward to it. So anyway, I think that's everything. Let me know again what you're reading and if you're taking part in NaNoWriMo. Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.